2015 was a wonderful year for video games, and if you are like me, you're already looking forward to January and all the games that are going to come out in 2016. Peter Brown, Mike Mahardy, Alexa Ray Correa. Let's go through it. Let's get 2016 hype. Are you hype?
Yes.
Are you hype, Mike?
Yeah.
You're always hype.
I am. That's my thing.
Peter Brown?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Okay. How about, I'll just
cynical Peter Brown.
Tantalize you with this one. How about XCOM 2 coming out in February? Excited for that?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Second XCOM.
I actually am not a huge XCOM fan, so I mean, I'm glad to see that game is coming back and people are excited for it.
Yeah, Andy Bauman went off and played a bunch of it last week, I think.
I'm so excited for
big fan
XCOM
as
2.
well, yeah.
I'm extremely excited for XCOM 2. I'm not going to be
Tell me
cynic
why.
here.
Tell me why.
So, Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within, both unreal, like this
Brilliant.
blend of just squad tactics and overall strategy.
Yeah. I'm playing Enemy Within right now on the iPad.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Enemy
super
Within
fun.
is so good.
And I'm just really excited for like more units, more enemies. It's kind of this cool new take on the world where it's 20 years after and the aliens have already won. So you're more of a rebellion than an actual like defense force.
Yeah.
And there's so many small things that I'm really excited about. You can carry squad mates when they're wounded. You can carry them when they're dead and you just need their gear, which is pretty morbid, but I mean, it still adds another layer. But you can also, like when you go into some missions, you're in stealth as opposed to automatic, like the aliens knowing where you are. So you can kind of complete objectives theoretically just without them knowing you were there. And I'm a big fan of stealth and XCOM, so kind of blending those two seems pretty appealing to me. Overall, it just sounds like, you know, if they take what made the first games great and make it better, that should be awesome.
Yeah. We've seen, I guess, a lot of people, the sort of MOBA genre expand out into different genres, and next year is kind of when the first-person MOBA chickens will come home to roost. We're going to have Overwatch
shooter.
and Battleborn within the first half of the year.
Yeah.
Hero shooters, yeah.
Hero shooters.
Any takers for either of those games? Because they are kind of going up against each other in a way. Although they're both consoles and both PC now as well.
I've played a little bit of both, and like I hate MOBAs because MOBAs are for nerds. So I played a little
Says
bit.
Final Fantasy.
I played a little bit of both. I played them at events, and Overwatch. I really like the style of Overwatch, and I really like the setup of Overwatch. However, like I don't know what I'm doing going into those games, so when I was playing at events, I would get sniped the second I walked out. So that needs some balancing. I'm optimistic, though.
I think that's a kind of an event problem. Is that you have, because we played at BlizzCon, and myself, Eric Tay, and Andy Bauman just smoked everyone because we were playing as a team, because we were there together. I have played so much Overwatch. Like, it's weird. We're talking about like the best first-person shooters that came out this year. Or we played this year. This is the best FPS I played this year. It's just not officially out yet because that alpha was pretty. It was pretty closed. So I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, no, Overwatch is great, but with Battleborn. So I think a lot of what makes Battleborn charming is the character thing. Like, I think Battleborn is going to be the game for people that like to latch onto a character and play a game because of a character, whereas Overwatch will be the game for people that want that hero shooter.
I've warmed to the characters in Overwatch more as well, maybe because I haven't played much Battleborn. There seems to be more of a, like, Blizzard are so good at that in a way that, I don't know, this seems to be so disparate with like Mushroom, Dude, and some of them are
the penguin
quite
in the mech.
trite. Okay, the penguin in the mech's pretty cool. Especially because Rob Handlery does the voice for it. Has anyone played Battleborn? Anyone else? Yeah, what do you think?
We got to play some of the co-op campaigns, something. I guess they're saying it's story-driven, but even that's pretty bare bone. But in general, yeah, it seems it's definitely going for the same thing as Overwatch and I guess Battle Cry to some extent. But
oh yeah, that's been pushed back as well.
Right. It's a cool concept. I mean, in terms of this, if you want a story out of these games, which isn't like a huge drawing force, but like there's one more star in the galaxy everybody's converging on. But it really, I mean, this is Nico they're using right now, the mushroom guy you mentioned, and he's more of a support character and he can heal, but I don't know, it's still got that whole, different characters with different abilities that you can kind of experiment with, and I could see myself putting a few hours into it.
It's going to be interesting to see which one of those sort of rises to the top. A game that has a story that people are very interested in. March 18th, we're going to finally get Uncharted 4. A Thief's End. Any takers for that one?
Yeah, I love everything Ty Root does, so I can't wait to watch that game.
Nightmare times.
No, what is the deal with the
what is the deal
with the choosing of the branching, like the storyline stuff, like
the
in the cutscenes? Like
that's probably just like pretty surface level, right?
Yeah, well, we have no idea.
I'm sure they're gonna flick a switch after that. Like, what a way to test an audience by giving them like that little taste and seeing how people react to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, maybe. Yeah.
Nobody wants that. They could easily just turn it off if it was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, these games seem to be...
They don't need it.
They don't.
They're roller coasters that when you play a part, it's in a sequence that is like action-packed. It's not during this like moment where you're trying to make a poignant decision with your brother who you haven't seen in 10 years. Like, what game is that? That's not Uncharted.
You want to ride the roller coaster. You don't want to be the guy pulling the lever.
He gets it.
I'm really interested to see how this game shakes out because the original writer is no longer working on the series. Amy Hennig left, and now she's working on EA's Star Wars game. And I don't know. I feel like if she was around, maybe the dialogue choices wouldn't be a thing. So I'm sort of cautiously optimistic. Like, I'm going to play it because Uncharted's been a great series, but I do think maybe story-wise, we'll see.
2 Drakes this time around.
A game,
2 Drakes, 2 Furious.
Drakai, I think is what we called them. A game that we haven't seen much of a little bit at E3, which definitely sort of got the taste buds of watering. June 2016, Recon. Peter Brown, excited for that?
Yeah, I like things that Keiji Inafune does. He tends to...
He's doing a lot of them at the moment.
He's doing a lot of them at the moment. He is also a very misunderstood guy. Rather than focus on the controversy surrounding his other projects, this is one that is really interesting to me because not only is it a Keiji Inafune joint, it is an Armature Studios joint, and that studio is run by a lot of guys who used to work on Metroid Prime, which is one of my favorite little mini-series of all time. And it's interesting because it sort of does the Mega Man thing in that one of the characters can kind of transform and have different abilities. In this case, by being implanted into something rather than taking on a thing. But yeah, we still don't know too much about it. But I'm willing to sort of be on the, for a change, optimistic.
Yeah, we'll see. Look at those people on the couch. They're different to the people on the couch right now. It's the same couch though. Getting on, we've got a bunch more games, so let's rush through a couple more. Doom, we will see maybe next year. That's a first-person shooter. Yeah. It's software making. Good luck to them. Hopefully that'll be cool.
Really rushing.
The multiplayer is great. I've played multiplayer.
You have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many people have. There was an open beta recently.
Is it like?
It's like Quake.
Okay.
It's really fast and it's really fun. And I had sort of given up on Doom during the E3 presentation, but when I went to QuakeCon and played the multiplayer, total about face. Maybe I don't care about the campaign, but that multiplayer is awesome.
Great. There you go. Multiplayer in a Doom game.
There's your review.
No Man's Sky didn't come out in 2015.
Nope.
Apparently coming out the week of E3 or something.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nightmare for them. Yeah, looking forward to that one on the couch.
Yeah, it is a crazy experiment that I think will. I'll be curious to see the long-term benefits of what they're trying to do and how the community latches onto it. Because there's supposed to be 18 quintillion planets in this universe.
We will never ever get anywhere close to finding 1%.
Oh no, of course not. But the method in which they're creating all of these things is kind of obvious, but also ingenious in the way they've implemented it. And then you add on this sort of seamless transition from space to terra firma. It's this. It's the definitive open world game. I can't think of a game that tries to tackle that at such a scale any better than this does.
Yeah, even if the gameplay is going to be relatively restrictive as it seems to be, it seems to be a pretty, you go out, mine for stuff, upgrade your ship so you can explore further. We'll see how many legs that has. Just as a concept, it seems like it's going to be so much fun. Especially now that Girl has made it all the way back to Earth.
Yeah,
Nobby Boy's finished. It's finally.
I love that you call it Nobby Boy.
What's it, Nobby Boy?
Nobby
Boy.
I prefer Nobby.
Nobby is too
for obvious reasons. I prefer Nobby Boys. Another game that we're dying to play, which we saw more of at E3.
Literally dying.
Dying. The Last Guardian.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That shit out there
Looks
already.
great. Lots of paint on it.
Yeah.
I still know nothing about what it is. Going to be a puzzle platformer with a big old dog-looking thing.
A boy
Dog
and
bird.
his griffin kind of thing.
And his
Psycho.
awkward gait.
Eco, but instead of a little girl, it's this disaster.
Little boy.
Look at him. Oh, he's still cute looking, but he's going to get you killed.
He's also gonna die at some
Seriously?
point.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh my God, this stresses me out.
Top picks for 2016 characters who die is Nathan Drake's brother and this thing.
But what if it dies and then from its corpse emerges a baby version of itself and the cycle of life
Like a
begins
phoenix?
anew?
So and you lift it
Also
up
a
to the
phoenix?
sky.
Yes, like a phoenix.
And
I hope that's not it. I really hope he doesn't die. I really hope that's not what this is setting up.
There you go. The
What if
Last
they
Guardian. That's why there's not a baby.
What if they ascend to heaven together? Assuming there is a heaven.
Let's
not
not
into
get
that
heavy
whole
here,
thing.
okay?
Yeah,
it's a video game.
A game that is getting into some pretty deep topics, though, which hopefully we'll play next year, is Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Themes
The
of
struggle of classes
National
and
Have you guys played that
giant
game?
Disney, no,
dogs.
I've only watched it, but
tough.
that's enough for me to want to play it.
So hard. hard.
really
Oh, really?
It's
Is it super difficult?
ridiculously hard.
It's
I
so
finally
hard.
played it at PAX, and I remember it took me a while to like even get my head around the
played
fact that it
together.
was. Yeah, we did. It was more of a Contra than it was anything else.
Oh, it's very,
because,
yeah.
I don't know, between crouching and actually the bosses, it's all just boss fights.
It's all boss fights.
It's all boss fights.
Yeah, and you're going between each boss, and I was trying to find the easiest one during the demo, and none of them were. And apparently I suck at it, but maybe I'll get better. I'm looking forward to it. It was fun, but it just
And it's beautiful too. They've
Yeah.
done an amazing
Yeah,
job.
it's
Yeah.
super pretty.
it's hand drawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or the,
I worry the accessibility is going to become an issue, and that game might not do so hot.
On the multiplayer space side of things, For Honor, that looked
Yay.
interesting.
That game's fun.
Yeah.
That game's fun as heck.
Does it play like Chivalry at all or anything like that, or is it easier to control? Because it's the same kind of like
Yeah,
you're blocking and.
Yeah, there's like the three, you have like the triangle, so like there's a top and a side and a side, and you can block or hit or whatever, and it's one of those games where you sort of have to be on a headset talking to someone.
Right.
Like I played at PAX with a friend, and we were in a team of 4, and she and I had each other in the headsets, and we're like, okay, you have to capture areas and defend them while also capturing new areas. So it's like, all right, you stay and defend this, I'm gonna go capture, and then she'd be like, I need backup, and I would go, and then she'd switch out. Like you really have to communicate with the people on your team, which I actually really like that it sort of simplifies that and simplifies the amount of actions that you need to do. But it's really fun. I really like it. Also, it looks really pretty.
So it's like multiplayer Dynasty Warriors then.
Yeah, it's like multiplayer Dynasty Warriors without the Dynasty Warriors.
It's weird because like there seems to be like I feel like there's been a bunch of these games flying around on Steam for the past 5 years, but this is the first time somebody with like AAA pedigree is really taking a swing at it. Get it? Anyway.
It was a lot of fun. It handles really well.
Horizon Zero Dawn, there's a game that we didn't really know much about, and then people got super excited about. Delighted that Guerrilla are making something other than Killzone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks great.
It looks like Far Cry, third person, with dinosaurs and some weird cyberpunk aspect. So it's
There's
nothing
a Far
like
Cry
Far
with,
Cry.
with
Erase what I
dinosaurs.
said.
So it's Far Cry Primal.
The new,
what
like a
you're saying.
newer Far Cry,
Are there
right?
dinosaurs in Far Cry Primal?
No.
Oh.
Probably, right?
There are raptors in
I
the
mean,
earlier
there's
ones.
probably one in there somewhere.
Raptors?
This is such a weird blend. Like you see her and you assume it's going to be some sort
Yeah.
of like even I don't know, like you said, Far Cry Primal. But then the dinosaurs themselves are made out of like some sort of machinery.
Yo, the robots,
Yeah, the
man.
machinery.
Yeah.
What I'm worried about with this game is that they've shown it off like a couple times, E3 being the biggest when it was revealed. Every demo they show takes place in the same little area.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
them approaching this enemy in a different way, and that's well and good and proves that the system works. But is there not something more tantalizing that they can show us? It's usually not a good sign when the best thing you have is like one vertical slice and you iterate upon that for months on end in terms, in the public eye.
Yeah,
Like,
fingers crossed we'll see a lot more of this before
I hope so.
it comes out.
Peter, it's the Final Fantasy 15 approach.
There you go.
You show the same vertical slice over and over.
Delicious when the slice tastes that good. Speaking of Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands may be coming out next year as well.
What is he talking about?
Remember Ghost Recon
Yeah,
Wildlands?
that
Remember
was
they
a
showed that?
complete surprise at E3,
Shrug.
right?
Yeah.
There's nothing
Like
else about it
open world
before.
Ghost Recon
It's like
game.
an open world third-person Ghost Recon, and
Yeah.
you're taking down the cartel, and you can kind of decide whether to get. They showed the same demo, the same area twice.
How did I miss this?
Once they
Yeah.
went in, like it had a sniper up here, and it's like stealthily kind of extracted the guy they're going for. The next they went in just guns blazing, brought it out like a Jeep. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's anything crazy new, but if they can kind of use like Ghost Recon's always really controlled well.
Yo,
If they
shoot that
can-
guy.
It's like
Yeah.
multiplayer
He looks
Metal
like
Gear.
he sells drugs. Great.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you could do in Metal Gear, I guess, if you're being stealthy, or
It's just
if
so
you don't want
brown.
to be stealthy.
Look at it. It's great.
I don't know.
You get to kill
Mech-
drug lords. You get
it's-
to maybe take some drugs.
In a brown
That
land.
truck doesn't know how to drive properly.
Because he's on drugs.
Looking for because of the drugs. A
there's-
game we haven't seen much of at all, and fingers crossed, is either getting delayed for a new console or it's just taking long. The new Zelda game. Will we see that next year? Will it be on the NX?
I'm willing to bet that it will be on both. Well, actually,
Like a Twilight Princess thing.
That's a pretty safe bet.
I mean, it's a safe bet, but like if we also believe that recent patent that got out that Nintendo engineers' names were attached to for the new controller,
Yeah.
you have to imagine anything Nintendo's doing will, especially a game as big as this, take advantage of that, right? They've done it with the gamepad for the Wii U. So I'm curious if they're actually going to retool it just for the NX, but then also put it out on Wii U. I mean, I suppose they could and just not go too deep into that new controller and all those weird aspects it might introduce, but yeah, I think this game is going to come out regardless of the platform next year for sure.
Fingers crossed, anyway.
I
hope so.
Looks super
Yeah.
good. On the same sort of Nintendo front, Kingdom Hearts 3 as well.
Same
Gonna see that
Nintendo
next
front.
year?
Nintendo?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Oh, dude, we're not getting the
Same
game.
weird ass
Danny,
Japanese games front.
we are not getting this game for like 2 years. This game is not coming out next year. 100% no. Absolutely not. They have one more prequel game coming out, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
Jesus.
Barf.
which has to come out next
Oh,
year.
Nintendo.
Oh, Nintendo. No, this game is, like, they're still announcing worlds. They've barely shown us much of what's going on. This game is 2017 at the earliest. It's not coming out next year.
Okay.
Especially with Final Fantasy 15, they're not going to blow their 2 big JRPG loads in 1 year. Absolutely not.
Don't blow your load. You know who's blowing their
That was
load, though?
gross. I apologize for saying that.
Xbox are going to blow 3 loads on us next year. I've got them right here. They are our final 3 games on my list.
I'm so sorry.
First of all, who's excited for Gears of 4?
Sure. Yay. Yes.
Yeah?
Good series. I know
I thought
Mary
that was the-
Kish is excited for it. Mary's
Yeah,
excited
Mary's
for it.
excited for it. She's right there. She's freaking out
She's
right now.
dancing.
They've said
Calm
they're
down.
going
Gears
back
series
to like
is
the
good.
horror roots that 1 had. I hope they do
Who
because
the
that's
fuck thought the first game was a horror game? I thought
That's
that was
what
the
they
worst
said.
demo I have seen at E3 in a long time.
Yeah, this thing
it
was
was
chasing
so
them on
dark.
roofs.
Nothing was going on. 2 characters who I don't have a clue where they are. And
I'm intrigued.
I don't know. It just looks so weird. Look at this thing. It's like a fucking mongoose. Gotta shoot it. Shoot
What
it.
are
Why are
mongoose
you
like
looking
in
at it?
Ireland?
Shoot it. You dumbass.
What kind of mongooses do they have in Ireland?
Mongai.
Mongai.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, hopefully it'll be good. It'll be a cover shooter. They're real hot.
I
Peter
like the dark.
scowling.
It's like Bloodborne, but with Gears of War.
And no lights.
I'm so sick of old IPs.
Oh, really?
So sick
Yeah.
of
Well then, Microsoft's other 2 loads are new IPs. The first one from the good people at Remedy, it's a Quantum Break.
Quantum.
Why'd you say it like that?
That's how he speaks.
Sam
Remedy
Lake.
man.
Remedy
Max
Man.
Payne, what's his
Sam
name?
Lake.
Sam
Sam Lake, yeah.
Alan Wake,
It's a
Sam
Quantum Break.
Quantum
I'm
Break.
a Sam Lake from Remedy, and this is a Quantum Break.
It's weird because
yeah.
initially I thought it was actually going to use time mechanics more than it looks. Now it looks more, it's kind of like bullet time from Max Payne, but then just really fast body slam dashes.
Yeah.
Press X to body slam dash.
Yeah.
The TV
And-
show has been rolled back, so now it's on the disc,
It's got
which is a good thing, probably.
Right.
I don't
Iceman
know.
Bobby Drake.
I-
He's in it now. Or he's always been in it, I guess, but he's still in it, and he's sprinting through time.
Littlefinger's the bad guy, apparently.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Littlefinger traveled through time to be the villain in
Yeah, it's in
Quantum
the
Break.
same universe as Game of Thrones, apparently.
Oh.
And then the final load, my good friends, Microsoft, you made your bed,
I'm so sorry.
is Crackdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the most exciting thing about Crackdown is the stuff they're doing with the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes,
if
Cloud Strike finally in the game.
No.
excited.
No more. Not another.
Nintendo.
This is the one game that has finally proven to me, and granted, it was only in an isolated demo. Microsoft said it was like real-world scenario where, like, we don't have. There's not going to be a next gen that we care about. Like,
Right.
This game is introducing a thing where you have the power of like 25 Xbox Ones, you know, from multiple servers coming together, and it proves itself when you watch entire buildings, like huge cityscapes, crumble without the game skipping a beat. Like, yeah, Just
Amazing.
Cause 3 can do some stuff that's pretty cool. This game is like that times 10. It is insane, but the regular game, I don't know.
It'll be fun for a while, right? If they do it well with the cloud and everything.
Maybe. I mean, well, the cloud stuff is only going to be multiplayer. It's not going to have to do anything with the single player game. And I love the original Crackdown. The second
Yeah.
one just seemed to iterate on it with no real added value. I don't know what they're going to do to make this
Yeah.
something new, right? If it's just more of the same, like
I
I was
mean,
saying a
that
minute ago, I'm tired of more of the same.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and find out. 2016 is when that's coming out. I'm sure I've forgotten a couple. First one that comes to mind actually is The Division. Hopefully we'll see that next year as well.
Forgot about that game.
Ubisoft need to get that out maybe. They haven't had great success with new IP with Watch Dogs. Hopefully this will be a great new addition to their slate. Anything else that you guys can think of that I didn't mention? I'm
Did
sure
you talk
chat
about
knows
Final
already.
Fantasy 15?
Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
excited.
talk about it.
We didn't talk
It's one
about
of
it.
those Nintendo games.
It's one of those Nintendo games.
I'm so sorry, Square. So sorry.
Big games.
God, I can't believe Danny thinks that Final Fantasy is a Nintendo game.
I think Disney's Nintendo. Isn't that what happened? They bought Disney?
They're
Yeah.
basic. Sure. Eventually, Disney will buy
Everything. Yeah,
Well.
they will consume us all. Mary, you shouted something?
Division.
I said The Division.
The Division.
Good
Finally.
chat. Good chat.
Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3.
Oh, Dark Souls
Oh,
3.
There you go.
yeah,
I did
Dark
forget.
Souls
Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls
3.
3. From what I played, it's really fun. It looks like they're kind of bringing a little more Bloodborne into Dark Souls, but also keeping the franchises separate.
Yeah.
Which is great because I know people who are Souls fans that don't like Bloodborne and vice
Yeah.
versa. I myself like both, so I'm kind of happy to see them melting into one another a little bit, as long as it still feels like a Dark Souls game, which it does so far.
Haven't even mentioned Madden 16. FIFA 16. New Forza game, right? They're on annual.
Fire Emblem Fates is going to be good.
Fire Emblem Fates.
I
So
assume
many
it'll be
games
good.
coming out in 2016.
Firewatch.
Firewatch.
Deus Ex.
Nobody knows what that
Is
is.
Firewatch going to be good?
Firewatch.
It looks alright.
I played it. It's like Gone Home, only you're an older sad guy.
And you do stuff.
and you, yeah,
Instead of just looking around.
do stuff.
I like it. That's
What's
pretty
what's the exclusive pre-order bonus though? Oh
Fire.
man.
Another older sad guy. I don't know.
good. So many great games coming out 2016. We don't have time for any more. Let us know what your favorite game was of 2016. What are you most looking forward to? Your most anticipated game, rather, I should say, in the comment box below.